week? Oh, wait, was that literally the first thing on the air? Awesome.
Yes.
Now, fortunately, it was not. Fortunately, I hope we came on right after your very appropriate guidance, Mike, and I will do my darndest. So, hi, everybody. Welcome to Snark Alec Radio. This is Kelly Toole at KELLYTHUL on Twitter. And we have a tremendously cool and fun show today. So, with me, as always, is Tony. Want to say hi to the folks, Tony?
Hey, everybody. I am Tony Solo on Twitter. And also with us, as becoming another bad habit of ours, is Mr. Mike. Yeah, he needs no introduction. He is a man of wealth and taste. Mr. Mikey B. Say hi, Mike.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Snark Alec Radio tonight. We have a very special guest with us tonight that hopefully Kelly won't say anything to offend, as he seems to always do. Everyone, welcome Pat Briggs to the show.
Hi, everyone. How are you?
Awesome to have you.
And Mike, you got to introduce the puppy.
Oh, well, I figured Pat should introduce the dog.
That's Pooh Bear.
And
this is our first dog guest on the show as well.
Okay, write that down.
Well, if you think back, a couple other dog. No.
Was it really? Wait.
No.
I drink pretty heavily during the show, so I really don't
All
know.
our guests have been wonderful. So.
Yeah. No, I think didn't Jabba make an appearance once?
Jabba did, and he's like half dog, half cat, half pig.
Half elephant.
Yeah,
Wow.
no doubt. Got a big old cat. Alrighty, so we're Pat, you're not on Twitter, is that correct?
No, I'm not.
Okay, but you have a Facebook fan page presence there, correct? So people can connect with you there. All right.
Yeah.
Excellent. So we're going to get rolling, and we will start off with Mike. And Mike, are you going to do the entire news in your Howard Hughes voice, or fade in and out of it?
When I agreed to do the news, I didn't realize there was 47 pages of it. So, I guess I'll get started. Okay, on 5/27, John and Helena McGivness celebrate their 25th anniversary. John says it was the best thing he ever did.
That's what Helena tells him every day.
And no comment from Helena. So,
I was going to say, yeah, that's a completely one-sided comment right there.
clearly.
Sunday, May 25th at 12:30 p.m., Dylan Knows International. First regular episode, Mike, Tony, ? Tony?
Yeah, Tony's not going to be there. Tony's going to be attending another function.
So you've fed me fake news to read.
Yes.
Pretty much.
This is an awesome start to the show.
Well, I thought it was still kind of up in the air when I wrote that, whether or not Kelly was going to sit in for me, but I have since learned that Kelly is not going to. So
That is correct, sir.
I think Bronwyn is actually on with me.
yes, Bronwyn. She's cool.
So Sunday, June 1st, 12:30 p.m., Dylan Knows Comics. We're live. Monday, part 2 of Chapter 45, Under Pressure. Boo of the Week. Should I just say that, or do you have a Boo of the Week?
I have a Boo of the Week. I have actually 2 Boo of the Weeks. Since you're a purist on Boo of the Week, Mike, I'll start with that, which was Boo of the Week goes to the entire Sci-Fi Designs chat room. That during the Late Night Movie Club, there was a scene this past Friday or Saturday, whenever it's on, that one of our heroines, this lady's boyfriend, crashed his plane into the side of a mountain, and she cried. And I, in the chat room, kind of threw something out about so rub some dirt on it, move on, enough of that, just basically told her to move on. And the entire chat room turned on me and booed me and berated me and all that. So congratulations, the entire chat room gets Boo of the Week.
You know what? I wasn't there. I didn't see this, but if everybody was booing Kelly, I think they probably did the right thing.
It was the most angry booing I've ever received. I'm still recovering. And sadly, I have to do a second Boo of the Week is where I boo myself. You may recall from the last show and the show before that, I kind of gave Mike a little bit of crap about mispronouncing my last name. And kind of my point of view is it is a hard name to pronounce. It's Thul. It's pronounced Tool, but you never guess it by looking at it. But I was kind of like, well, after you know me for a little bit, you should always get it right. Blah, 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 blah. And Mike got it a little bit wrong, and I gave him crap. Well, on Nurture and Support, a podcast I do, I had a guest on who I have known longer than Mike has known me. And while I introduced her as Alicia, and I thanked her for joining us at the podcast as Alicia, for the entire rest of the podcast, about 110 mentions, I called her Alicia. And so I realized at this point, words are hard, and I should never criticize people for mispronouncing a name. So, Mike, apologies to you, and a boo for me, and, of course, Alicia, apologies to her as well. So
Alicia or Alicia?
Or Alicia. Alicia, see, there you go.
Thank Kelly. I heartfeltly accept your apology, and I appreciate all of those half-naked pictures that you sent me.
Yeah, do you
yourself. Really? It's you, and his junk is covered up by little notes that say "I'm sorry." This is real. I'm not making.
Okay,
yeah, so here we go. Here's Mike waving the frickin'. All right. Why don't you move on with the rest of the news, Mikey?
The rest of the news. This is taking way too long. I just want to get to the interview with Pat.
No doubt.
Let's see, Boo of the Week. Submit a topic on the website for discussion on the show. You can hear and see Snark Alley. All right, this is where it gets really long. They want me to read everywhere.
So why don't you just, talk about the devices where they can hear the radio show, and the big announcement is about the other stuff.
Wait, what's the others? Do I know about this announcement?
Yeah, it's going to be on the Vimeo channel, and the Vimeo channel is available.
It's my announcement. I'm reading the news.
Well, why don't you...
Pat, I apologize. This is entirely unprofessional.
I have nothing else to do.
Okay, so you can hear this show on any Apple or Android device. You can hear it on Kindle Fire, Roku, WDTV, TiVo, various digital radios. Older BlackBerry and Windows phones have the app for it, but since they're a declining market share of the smartphone industry, they've Live365, our distributors, decided not to update those apps. You can still get the older version of the apps, though.
Except it's only in Swahili, right?
Yeah, that's why you need Google Translator.
Yeah.
The radio show is also now going to be on the Loud and Loaded video channel that's on Vimeo. Vimeo, of course, is also on any Apple and Android device. It is on also, starting now, Amazon Fire TV, Xbox, Roku, Apple TV, Samsung Blu-ray players, and smart TVs as well. So you'd be able to watch this interview with Pat back on many, many different devices.
Alrighty, cool.
That's all the news. I finished it.
And it was a stirring rendition of the news too, Mike.
I did the best that I could.
Yeah, that's sad. Yeah.
Yeah, Mike is never doing the news again.
He's bitter. He's a bitter newscaster. Put him on Fox. All right, so we'll go ahead and move in real quick. I think Tony and I are going to touch on super fast about We're Alive. As a reminder for folks, the third installment of this chapter will be released next Monday. If you're not listening to the We're Alive podcast, zombie podcast, it's awesome and you should. Tony, do you want to talk any about this episode, or do we want to kind of just get into the conversation with Pat?
Yeah, just a little bit briefly. I thought it was a little bit strange where it was almost where everybody was saying goodbye to everybody. I thought it was a little bit strange, so I have a feeling we're going to lose somebody in the next episode. I think someone's going down, and that's the only thing I had to say about that. I don't know if you had any thoughts on that.
I'm with you. I think that it sure feels like that's getting set up. You got any guesses who?
I think Victor. If I had to put my money on someone going out, it would be Victor, or the people left behind. Maybe Kelly. Maybe something happens and Kelly gets axed. But I'm guessing Victor.
I think Saul's got an attitude towards some people, and I think one of the people he has an attitude for is not going to make it, so he'll have that unresolved thing. Oh, I shouldn't have been so hard on him. We'll see. Okay, cool. Mr. Pat Briggs, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You want to give folks a little bit of background on you, just so some of our listeners who may not be familiar, get a little bit of background?
Well, I'm probably best known for being the singer of Pyschotica, which is a glam rock band started in '93. We're actually still together, technically. I'm just breaking off right now and doing my first solo thing and having a great time. Hoping everybody's enjoying it with me.
Now, is this solo project going to be a full-length album or an EP?
It's going to be an EP plus. So it's actually bigger than an EP because I've got some remixes and stuff like that on it. And, you know, so you're getting quite a few songs on it for an EP. But we're calling it an EP. How's that?
Okay. So, before we asked you to come on, we were watching some of your videos on YouTube, and one of the things that I was like, that seems a little David Bowie-ish, and I think Kelly thought he saw a little bit of Alice Cooper. So, like, who were your biggest influences in the band's music, or your personally?
Actually, you're not totally off base, but my biggest influence actually was George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic.
Okay.
He's who I learned how to do harmonies from, because there's a certain formula he used to use, and you know, he was actually probably the original glam rocker, coming out of a spaceship with platforms and a spacesuit, doing the mothership connection. But you know, he was a black artist, and you know, we know how that went back then. You know.
Yeah.
So
what's interesting to me, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
What's interesting to me is having been listening to Pyschotica since the self-titled album. So many artists, recent artists now, seem to be copying stuff that you guys did all those years ago. What do you think about that? Is that flattering to you, or does it annoy you?
No, I'm happy to be a part of rock history. You know, I mean, not everybody, very few people on the planet get the chance to do that. You know, and I'm completely content with my position in life. You know, I'm happy that I've been able to, you know, utilize my God-given talents to, you know, make an impact on the planet. You know, so what more could I ask? I can't really be bitter about that, right?
And how did the first solo single come about?
It came about quite by accident. I was feeling a little stifled and stagnant, so I called up a friend of mine, you know, I've known for a very long time, and I was like, let's write a song together, let's do something, anything, you know. And so we did, and we recorded it, and then somebody was doing an interview on a retrospective on 90s bands, so I got asked to do it, and, you know, they asked me what I was doing now, and so I let them hear it, and they put it into heavy rotation. So it kind of was like quite by accident.
Very cool. And as Tony has predicted, Pat, we're already starting to get the folks listening to the show, some of our regular listeners, who are really glad you're on and enjoying what you've got to say. And your dog's a huge hit already. So people are loving it. I think it's adorable. So
She's the best dog in the world. Look at that face. I mean, really. Come on. How can you beat that?
So we've got a question from Julius Seizure. And
really? I thought he was dead.
Maybe. Maybe he had a heart attack. Who is your favorite band / musician you know who influences you the most?
Well, it would have to be George Clinton. I mean, that's I already answered that question, really.
Yeah. Is there anybody that's out there currently that you like to listen to?
I like Muse a lot. I like Muse, and The Distillers are probably my favorite band, my favorite contemporary band right now. I've been listening to the Distillers' first record for about 5 years now, solid. I can't get it off of my computer, so that's probably my favorite record.
Excellent, cool. Hey, so we got tons more questions for you, Pat. What we are going to do right now is take a quick break, and we'll be back. You're listening to Snark Alec Radio on Live 365 Loud and Loaded station and lower bottle BlackBerry devices, and we'll be right back. Hey everybody, you're back. You're listening to Snark Alec Radio on Live 365's Loud and Loaded channel. Tony, Mike, and I are here, and we're joined by Pat Briggs and from Pyschotica, and now also some solo work about to come out in a EP Plus form, which will be very cool. I think we'll just rotate around. So the one thing I wanted to kind of get question, Pat, is that you've had some involvement with, so obviously a ton of musical involvement, but it looks like you've done a little bit of you were in Rent, or a version of Rent, and you did some of that. You've done some film as well. In terms of all those mediums, is music number one by a long shot for you, or are there any of those other what's your favorite medium, or are they all the same, or what?
Yeah, well, definitely music is my favorite forum to be in. I mean, it's I don't like discipline, so all those other mediums, like take a lot of discipline. You have, and I have the worst memory retention on the planet, so to learn a script for me is like torturous. But I have been doing it since I was 8 years old. I mean, that's where I started, was in theater, and it's probably where I'll die.
So what was the 8-year-old Pat Briggs' first role in theater?
My first role was I was Little Ricky in the 7-Year Itch in community theater, and it was like everything else that happens in my life. It was an accident. I wandered in on an audition and accidentally got it.
Now, did singing start from doing theater, or was that something you got into separately?
No, I was discovered, whatever you want to call it, by a man named Bill Aucoin, who was Kiss and Billy Idol's first manager, when I was go-go dancing at the Limelight, basically, in New York. And I was probably 19, I think, at the time, and he put me with this band, and that was my first band. And I didn't even, I had no idea. I didn't even want to be a rock star at all. Like, I was not interested really in it. But I wanted to be famous. So, I didn't care what I had to do. And so I remember somebody coming up to me after the first show with that band and saying that probably I should consider doing something else for a living. And, that was all I needed.
That was the reinforcement that it took to push you forward?
Yeah. I'm big on that. All you got to do is tell me no, that I can't do something, and that's pretty much guaranteed that I'm going to do it. So.
Very cool. So George Clinton's getting some props from the audience too. Pat, we've got some fellow George Clinton fans in the crew. We did. So I'm reminding anybody who's listening tonight, if you want to throw that hashtag SnarkAlecRadio on the end of your tweets, it'll be the best way for us to catch them. There is a Q&A going for the Hangout. You can drop your questions in there as well. But if you're tweeting them out, give us that hashtag, because that'll be easy for us to kind of grab. We had a gentleman from Spain prior to the show hit us with a series of questions. So I'll just work my way through them if you don't mind. Hello, Pat. This is Eric from Spain. You remember Eric from Spain? There's an Eric from Spain who's a big fan.
I don't, but
he says, congratulations on the amazing new song and video. But he's always thought it was really weird that Pyschotica had a song called Barcelona. So he was wondering what's the story or meaning behind the song Barcelona?
Well, Barcelona I wrote with actually John Carruthers from Susie and the Banshees, and it was a mini rock opera, basically, is what it was. And set in Barcelona. I mean, Barcelona is a really romantic sort of amazing place, and I love Europe in general, but Spain is really an amazing place, and as is Italy. And you know, that was just where I wanted to set it. It was just, you know, it was sort of, I was flashing back on experiences that I had there, and you know, setting a fictionalized, you know, theme going on in a song, and that was where it was meant to be. So.
Cool.
So 5 years ago, Pyschotica did a small tour in Italy and Spain, which you kind of just mentioned. What do you remember of those shows, and especially the show in Barcelona? Eric, the guy that's asking these questions, was there and was it was one of the most beautiful and moving shows he's ever seen. So apparently, yeah, go ahead.
I remember I started crying during the show. Because you know, sometimes I'm able, I don't know. Sometimes I slip into somebody else. I don't know who it is exactly, but when I'm on stage, and you know, a lot of emotions come out during that time, and I'm not somebody who holds back that stuff, you know, because that's the form where I'm able to share it, you know. So I remember that. I remember tears streaming down my face for a large part of the show, and I was okay with that. I was okay with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing I think we have a little bit in common is that tears stream down my face every one of these shows with Mike and Tony. So
Kelly, one of the things I have in common with Pat is I've been known to sing. I sing in the shower. So I have that connection with him.
There you go. These parallels are shocking.
Yeah. The difference, though, is that nobody would come to see Tony do that.
I don't know. I'm sure one person would come. I might even be able to get somebody to pay to come see that.
Kelly
I can
doesn't
find
count.
one person. There's billions of people in this world.
Nobody's that.
There's somebody for everybody, John. Don't worry about it.
See, there you go, Kel.
Now Pat's just giving you sympathy advice.
Yeah.
That's right. Don't feel bad, I'm sure. You may, you know. All right.
Want to finish that off, Kel?
Well, just a little bit more. So it sounds like you loved Barcelona, Pat. These are all from Eric from Barcelona. He was wondering, do you have plans to come back to Europe either as a solo artist or with Pyschotica?
I'll come back to Europe anytime they want me to. I love it there. And in fact, I've considered moving there.
Okay. So Ted Demme wanted to do a film based on your autobiography titled The Tom Sawyer Complex. This is a 3-part question coming up. What kind of relationship did you have with Ted? Were you friends? Was he a fan of Pyschotica?
Yes, to all of those things. Ted was an awesome guy, and you guys know, right, that he passed away. And, you know, the movie industry particularly lost a huge talent when he died. And so, yeah, I mean, it was really a tragedy. And he left a month-old baby as well, you know. That was really horrible.
Wow.
Yeah.
And just to finish that off, what Eric from Spain, these are all Eric from Spain questions. What happened with the book, or what happened with your book? He says, do you still conserve it? I'm trying to translate that into English.
Well, my book right now, I realized, after Ted died, it kind of got put on the shelf. And a whole series of events happened in my own life shortly after that that started a whole shitstorm of stuff. And now I'm reworking the entire thing because I realized that that was only the beginning of my life, that I had ended that book on. A whole nother, huge chunk of stuff has happened. And so by next year, I'm going to be releasing a book, a concept album with it, and video for each chapter. So you'll download a chapter, and you'll get a song and a video with it.
Wow, that's cool. That's a great idea. So we've got another question from Julius Caesar, which is kind of along the same lines. Can you let us know when the book is going to come out? How many months or years? And any idea when the T-shirts will be available?
The T-shirts should be ready in about a month. And the book will not be finished until early next year.
Cool.
I actually just got a two-part question. Well, one's really just a statement. Two-part thing from my friend Tom, who said first that he wants you to know that while he is straight, he would be gay for you. And he follows that up with an actual question, which is, what was your first tattoo?
My first tattoo was this one right here. It's a Gothic war scorpion, commonly seen.
And a great band name, Gothic War Scorpion. That'd be all right.
Now, are you currently recording with Pyschotica as well, or are you focused entirely on the solo project for the time being?
I'm really suddenly focused in on this solo project right now. It really got me excited about making music again, and because for a while I was, we'll just say, distracted. And so it's made it fun again for me right now. I'm like, I can, because I can do almost anything I want right now with it, and that's kind of a cool place to be in. Pyschotica, I'm expected to do certain things, and I like that as well. But I'm just having a good time right now, so I'm hoping that it stays that way.
When you're with the band as opposed to being solo, I'm guessing maybe when you're solo you can call all the shots, where you don't have to deal with the band politics. Is that what's making it fun to you at this point?
Yeah, it might be. That might be part of it, although, Paul and Enrique in Pyschotica never give me any hassles about anything either, I mean, they've put up with a lot of my shit for a lot of years, and we're family, that way, and I don't feel like, they stifle me in any way either, it's probably more limitations that I put on myself, in my own head. They probably don't even really exist.
Now, is your creative process any different as a solo artist than it is with Pyschotica?
Well, it was a little bit of working with Lonnie Paul. I worked on this stuff with Lonnie Paul, and he's very talented. And I remember the first day going in and wondering, like, oh God, can I even sing anymore? Like, what? I don't even know what I'm doing anymore, And I remember him asking me to do something, and it was kind of backwards from the way I was used to doing things, and I kind of had a little hissy fit inside my head. Nothing outward necessarily, but I had a little attitude for a minute, and I remember having to pull myself back and go, you need to be open-minded about this, and just let it happen. And so it was a little adjustment, I think, but for the better. it's all been very exciting, and you know, the outcome was really fantastic for me. So you know, who can complain about that?
Very cool. Hey, and just so you know, we got from Amanda Anderson here. So Amanda has to say, thanks for listening, Amanda, by the way, but she loves your new song. It inspired her. So she wants to know if so this is kind of a request. would you mind if I used it for my new diet vlog on YouTube? So apparently she's got a diet video blog on YouTube.
Go for it.
What a guy.
Wow, go for it. So you know this is being recorded, so she can come back and say, "Hey, he said go for it." Just say.
Yes, you can use it.
Listened by halves of dozens of people too. So this is a radio station, massive reach. But on any device, including old Blackberries. So
it's the old BlackBerry thing that really sells. Like, I'm excited that we're on Amazon TV and all that shit now, but it's great to be on old Blackberries.
Yeah, there's 5 of them left, right?
Yeah. For you 6 BlackBerry users. Actually, that brings me to a question that I had for Pat. When the EP is going to be released, do you know what formats you're looking to release it in?
Well, I want to do a picture disc of it, actually. So it will definitely be on vinyl as well.
Sweet.
And CD and MP3. So are there other formats that I don't know about?
Not that I can think. I was hoping you would say vinyl, just because I'm a huge vinyl.
I am definitely going to do a picture disc of vinyl, yeah.
So, Pat, you've made Amanda's day. She's very excited that you'll be able to use your song, so thank you very much for that. SnarkAlec Radio, bringing people together. How awesome is that? On Blackberries. So what we're going to do is take a really quick break again, and we'll be right back. You're listening to SnarkAlec Radio on Live 365's Loud and Loaded station, and we'll be right back. Hi, everybody. You're back. You're listening to SnarkAlec Radio on Live 365's Loud and Loaded station. Tony, Mike, Kelly, and we're joined by Pat Briggs, who's been patiently answering all sorts of questions from us. And don't forget, you can either join the Q&A session of the Google Hangout and submit your questions there. We've had a couple people doing that already, one of which has scored a song for her diet blog. So it's a good Q&A for you there. You can also, if you're tweeting it out, to use the hashtag SnarkAlecRadio, and we'll pick it up, and we'll do that. Some themes that have been running through on Twitter. No one wants to hear Tony sing. Everyone still thinks Pat's dog is really cool. And there are a few SnarkAlecs that are, the limelight was their old stomping ground, including Midgie Girl, I believe. So there you go.
And Laura wants you to stop hating on the BlackBerry because hers works just fine. Thank you.
Does she have the app for her BlackBerry?
Well, Laura, do you? Do you now? Do you have the BlackBerry app?
So does it run on the Jitterbug too, Mike? Just wondering. No.
For our senior constituents?
Yes.
If I get my way, it will be on anything that we can possibly get it on.
It's actually on some of the newer hover-rounds that have the video screen. You can get it wirelessly on the hover-round. So for the geriatric set, they can get it too.
There you go.
Alrighty. So we've got people have turned. Okay.
Yes,
so update from our good friend Amanda, Pat. So I'm kind of glad that you were flexible on the song, because here's the next update from Amanda. Well, I kind of did it already. Check it out. But if you had asked her to change it, she would have. Certainly.
Yeah. So. Okay, so I'm gonna.
I'll shoot you the link. We'll shoot you the link, Pat, for that, so you can kind of see it in action.
Sounds good.
Okay, so Mike, can you see the Q&A?
If I opened it, I probably could.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be a good
Instead
thing.
of waving pretend texts at people, you could maybe be useful here. Bring up the Q&A. Got it?
Yeah, there's... Okay.
What's your opinion about that one? You see that?
Did you want me to read that? Is that where we're
Yeah,
going with
because
this?
people make fun how I say that guy's last name, so I'm avoiding any sentence that has that word in it. Just saying.
Okay. What's your opinion on Freddie Mercury, The Mission UK, and Youth Gone Mad?
Freddie Mercury's probably, well, was the best rock singer that ever lived, as far as I'm concerned. And, what a great loss.
He had range.
He had more than range. I mean, he had everything, that you could possibly ever want in a rock singer.
I'm just going to throw my own little part into that since you're a Freddie Mercury fan. What do you think of Queen continuing with other singers?
What? Say that again?
What do you think of what Queen is doing now, touring with other singers like Adam Lambert?
Well, a lot of people are really not happy with it, but I'm really happy with it because, first of all, you got to remember these, Freddie dies, okay, and what does that mean? The rest of the band's life has to stop too, it's unfortunate that they lost the greatest singer that ever lived, but I gotta hand it to them too for staying true to, Freddie's memory and going with, an openly gay singer that, they could have made a lot of other choices and they didn't, and I thought that was really admirable of them.
Do you not like Adam Lambert, Mike?
I actually haven't heard any of the stuff that he's done with Queen. I do love the idea that Queen is out there and playing, though.
Well, he actually he played with them on American Idol. Well, Brian May at least. And I think that's how they kind of hooked up.
It's going to be a tough job for him. I mean, he's got a lot of stuff to live up to, like it's an impossible job that I certainly wouldn't want, and I wish him all the best. I hope that he, I suppose if anybody can do it, he can do it, so I guess we'll see. And, it helps that he has the backing of the band, so.
Right. So what about Mission UK and Youth Gone Mad?
UK, I don't know a whole lot about, actually, so I don't feel, educated enough to even answer that question. Youth Gone Mad is Paul, my guitar player's other band, and it's his punk rock project he's had for years, so I don't know what to say about that.
I was just thinking, too, when I was reading the question, like, it's going to be really strange if Pat's like, yeah, I hate that band.
Yeah. It's garbage.
No, it's right down to really hate,
Okay, one more, another one from Julius. So he's asking, how is it being an icon and a hero to a lot of people? Does it affect you? Does it ever get to be too much?
Well, I mean, who can really complain about that? I mean, it's not. First of all, it's not like, I'm curing cancer or anything here, and however, I do try to approach it with a little bit of responsibility, like because of the fact that, kids do have a tendency to listen to quite literally to everything that when you say it, and take you really seriously. So I try never to put myself or them in a position where I have to be responsible for influencing something bad happening to somebody. That's, not where I want to be at professionally or spiritually or any of it, So I try to just keep a handle on my big mouth, basically.
Have you ever changed any lyrics or imagery that you originally intended to use because of that same philosophy?
No, I haven't had to yet. But if it came down to that, I would, I think.
Cool. So the one other question we've got kind of in the Q&A right now, and Pat, I think you've kind of hit on this again, but if there's any other thing you want to add to it. So I think another individual from Spain, or certainly familiar with your Spanish concert, Ignacio Rayo, who's saying, what are your best memories about the Spanish concerts? Your friend, Ignacio. So, any big memories from the Spanish concerts?
Well, see, my cello player, Enrique, thinks it's quite fun, because, in Spain is very divided between Madrid and Barcelona. They speak two different languages. They speak Catalan in one and Spanish in the other. And so I always try to get Enrique, being Puerto Rican, he translates a lot of the Spanish stuff for me. And he thinks it's funny to get me to say it the opposite way in each city, being that I'm just, pronouncing "Hi, how are you," phonetically as he writes it out for me. But he thinks it's funny to get me to do that the opposite way, because then it pisses the crowd off right away. And so, yeah.
I got friends like that.
Yeah, Mike and Tony.
Yeah, I was gonna say familiar. That's a cool trick.
It's not that cool, actually.
Yeah, no, not when you're on stage in front of thousands of people. No, it's not.
Exactly.
I wouldn't know, because I'm just a shower singer. So.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and again, the sentiment of Twitter is keep that singing in the shower, and there's no one willing to pay for it.
Yeah, and the other big sentiment on Twitter is Kelly, you suck.
I suck. Yeah. Which this is not news. This is and it was earlier. Laura tweeted, "Stop the hatin'," misspelled hated because her BlackBerry can't spell check. So I don't need to hear any of this stuff.
All that matters is she has the BlackBerry app.
Yeah, that's right. It's all we got to keep the big things here. That's right.
Yeah. Cool. Now, Pat, I got another question here. Do you have a title picked out for the EP?
Yeah, it's called Bareback and Badass.
Now, wasn't that set to be the title of a Pyschotica release at one point?
Yeah, I stole it for myself.
Hey, Peter, watch out. It's probably sitting on this diet block now. Is the title. Yeah, man. All right. Cool.
That was funny.
Yeah.
Now, how did the music video for "You Can't Scrub Your Soul Clean" come about?
Well, I sent the track off to a friend of mine in Hawaii, who that's where my family lives, by the way, and I have some very creative friends in the jungle there, and because when you live in the jungle, that's all you have to do is create. There's nothing else to do. And so Devin called me and said, we have to make a video for this. And I said, okay, why not? And, Devin has this great style that I love. It's festive, it's, creative, it's over the top, it's, fashion-y, it's all of the stuff that I like. And so I just flew there and we did it. I mean, it was really... Everything for this record has happened very organically and just fell into place. I mean, I haven't had to work hard at anything on this, which is a great thing.
That's always the best way to do projects.
It's awesome.
And for the folks listening, Snark Alec Radio listeners, we do have that show resources page where post show we put out. If we talked about websites, we give you the links for all that. We will be sure to include a link to You Can't Scrub Your Soul Clean video, because it is. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic song, fantastic video. How long did that take to actually? So you flew out to do it. How long did it take to shoot?
We shot it in 5 days, and then it took Devin another week and a half or something to edit it. It fell right into place. I mean, I thought that was amazing time. So probably took a total of 2 weeks to make, start to finish.
Really cool stuff. So, like I said, we'll make sure if you folks haven't seen it that we'll include some links to the website and tweet it out and all that kind of stuff. Definitely worth a listen and a watch. Very cool. So Tony, so Mike, first of all, did you? I knew you were quite anxious, real excited to have Pat on because I knew you had tons and tons of questions. Have you got most of them in? You got a couple more?
I think we got most of them. I'm going through the Facebook questions that people sent me right now to make sure we didn't miss anybody.
Okay, well, I know you read a little slow, so what we could do is take a break.
The things that I put up with on this.
I know. So we'll take a break to let Mike read the words, and when we come back, you may have a few questions from Facebook for Pat. But you're listening to SnarkAlec Radio on Live 365's Loud and Loaded station, and we'll be right back. Hi, everybody. We're back. You're listening to SnarkAlec Radio on Live 365's Loud and Loaded station. I'm going to try and be nice to Mike for the rest of the show. I don't know why, but I'll give it a shot. We'll
Don't believe a word of that.
We'll see. You can't become a sympathetic character, so I'm going to have to try and be nice. So, Mike, you've been doing yeoman's work and keeping track of questions on Facebook. Would you like to share some of those questions with our guest? Maybe in your Howard Hughes voice. Or not.
So, yeah. So the Howard Hughes voice, Pat, is an overly dramatic voice that I was using a few episodes of the show ago that Tony meant to say sounded like an Orson Welles voice, but instead said Howard Hughes, and we won't let him forget this.
Ever.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
A lot of the questions that I'm getting right now really just have to do with, do you have any intention of touring, or is there specific areas you'd like to hit if you tour?
Yeah, I always loved touring, so I'm putting together the show right now, actually. And my faithful cohort, Marshall O'Boy, who's helped me for years on several projects, is helping me put it together right now. So it's gonna. All I can say is it's gonna be a multimedia presentation.
Now, would this be larger venues, smaller venues, theaters? Did you have a particular setting in mind for this?
Tony shower.
Anywhere, basically anywhere that'll have me.
I don't know. I really don't know what to say about Tony shower. That's very cool. So Pat, have you in the past toured much in the Midwest? I don't know if kind of structurally. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I have. I've toured a lot in the Midwest. I mean, we did the entire U.S. and Canada 4 times one year, you know.
Very cool. Yeah, we got Tony and Mike out on the East Coast, and I'm in the middle of the cornfields here in Illinois. So it's nice when talent makes its way here because it's.
I tell you,
Because there's obviously no talent there right now.
We have to import it.
We did a dog racing track in Rockford, Illinois, one time.
Cool. So Amanda's back. I thought the costumes were fantastic in the video. She's probably going to follow up and ask if you can send them to her. Okay, and then Julia. Oh, boom. Okay. Just a word of thanks from Julius again, just saying, hey, thanks. He's thanking you for releasing music again. He really feels the music world needs you. So he's very appreciative of you getting stuff back out again. So
that's very sweet. Thank you.
Alrighty. So are we about ready to go into this game thing, Tony? You want to give that a shot? Mike, is there something else we wanted to do prior to that, or?
I think we're pretty much good. I mean, I do want to give Pat the opportunity, if he doesn't want to participate in the game, to run away now.
I probably will let you guys do this game on your own.
Okay.
That'll be fine.
That's more than understandable.
I'm going to observe, definitely.
Oh, okay.
Are you going to observe from here, or are you going to cut out?
I'm going to cut out and watch you guys from the other point of view.
Excellent. Well, can't thank you enough for joining us. This is incredibly cool. Hope you consider coming back, joining us again. Maybe after some of the stuff's coming out, we can talk about it some more then. Very cool.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for coming on.
Have a good day, guys.
Thanks, Pat. Appreciate it. That was so cool.
Very cool. And we got Q&A, which was nice. So that was so. Thank you, listeners, who are contributing on Q&A, and Amanda, thank you for being a good sport as we teased a little on that. But okay, you got a song for your video diet blog, so be happy. Yeah, really cool engagement across the board there. And I've graduated from sucking to now I'm a dickweed. By the
way. Wait, who called you a dickweed?
Laura.
Oh.
She's a little bit of my BlackBerry pokes are not going over well. So
I was actually kind of hoping it was Pat. Like he immediately jumped off and was just like, "Man, that Kelly guy, he's a dickweed."
Well, it was. You could see it. You could see that's what he was thinking. But yeah.
That's what we were all thinking. I mean, no, come on.
No, that's not true.
Okay, so you guys ready to do this?
What was the name of the game?
It's called Idioms for Idiots. And you guys can play as a team or you can play individually. It's up to you guys.
Well, I think as a sign of solidarity, I would like to play as a team with Howard Hughes.
Okay. Well, Howard Hughes is not here, but Mike is. So would you like to?
Kelly, I would love to team up with you on this. Are you wearing pants? Because the first rule of my team is no one can wear pants.
As far as then, we can't be a team.
All right, you know what?
I'm not wearing pants. No, I'm good. I'm not wearing pants.
I'm good.
Yeah, we're fine.
I feel like you're just telling me what I want to hear, but that's fine.
Hey, so Amanda Anderson's back on the Q&A. Amanda, stick around and join us in the game, maybe. Yes. But she was just she's thanking us. She's listening, and apparently Psychota is still her favorite band of all time. Big fan of Pat, so very cool to have Amanda join us tonight.
And
all right, bring on your idiots.
If anybody else wants to play, you can put your guesses in, use hashtag SnarkAlecRadio, and or if you're watching on Google Plus, if you want to throw them up into the Q&A, that's fine also. So this is what the game is. Most of the games that we play here are yes or no. This is not going to be any different. I called it idioms for idiots. There are phrases that we use in everyday life. Everybody understands and knows what they mean, but we don't know what the origins are. So I'm going to throw out a couple of phrases, maybe 10 or 11, and I'm going to give you the origin of that phrase, and you just have to say whether or not that's the real origin or whether I'm bullshitting you guys. So it's kind of like news or not, but it's not news or not. It's idioms for idiots. So, you guys ready?
You can't see the label of my whiskey bottle, right? I don't want any free promotion.
Okay, good. No, we can't.
No, you're good. Okay. We can barely see you, Mike. You're fine.
And I'm surrounded by 4 screens. That's why I'm so, kind of washed out.
I feel like Tony stole all of the light.
Yeah, hold on a second.
He is a...
Tony's in like a late cable softcore porn with the soft lighting and the...
Little sours. Songs in the shower with Tony.
Okay, so my light is basically just about off. The only thing that's lighting up my face are the 4 monitors I've got surrounding me. Okay, so that's where my light's coming from. That's why it's so dark in here. I think I'm going to do this like this from now on. This is cool. I like being in the dark. It's great.
It works for me.
So, anyway, the first one, and I hope everybody's ready at home, is a dead ringer. And everybody knows that this means an exact duplicate. So, I have to get over here. The origin of this is you have to take the words, and you have to split them up. So, A ringer is a horse substituted for another horse of similar appearance in order to defraud the bookies. So back in the day, if you had an old nag that you were going to put into a race and you had a horse that looked like it that was really good, you put it in and that would be a ringer. Okay. A dead ringer would be a horse that looked exactly alike, that would be really hard to tell the difference from the substituted horse to the one that was in there. So now, the question is that the origin of the phrase dead ringer?
Okay, so we're going to take a pause here. Mike and I will ponder this and work together as a team for our answer, giving folks on Twitter a chance to throw out whether you say yes. Based for this one here, if you're saying yes, you believe the explanation Tony just gave is the source of this idiom. If you say no, then you don't believe it. And,
okay.
Or you can throw it in the Q&A.
Yeah, you could throw it in the Q&A, and we're going to go through them all first, and then I'll reveal the answers. So we can do it that way. That way, people, there is a little bit of delay.
Cool.
Can we still discuss what we think it is first?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
And no cheating.
All right. First off, that was so incredibly long, I forgot what the fuck we were doing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's right. So a couple things. One, Amanda Anderson's weighed in that she doesn't believe that it's it, and then, so that's going to influence me for this first one.
She's on a BlackBerry, and I trust people are on BlackBerries.
She's on a trustworthy BlackBerry. And Tony's a lying sack of crap. So that would be, that's why I would go with no. So you want to go with no on this one? Say we don't believe this one is the origin story?
Yeah, I don't believe that at all.
Okay.
So we're going with no for a variety of reasons.
Okay, so I have a piece of paper here, and I wrote it down. I wrote down a no, and I even wrote Amanda's name there, so I wrote Amanda's got a no, too. So,
cool. Myrna says yes, by the way.
Okay, so Myrna's got a yes. Okay.
My scorecard was a lot better for our game, by the way.
So, yeah, I don't need good scorecards. We're going to go to the next one.
Laura says no.
So next one is Saved by the Bell. Saved by the Bell. Everybody knows it. You were saved by last-minute intervention. The origin. This is a boxing slang that came into being in the latter half of the 19th century. A boxer who is in danger of losing a bout can be saved from the defeat if he's being counted out by the ringing of a bell because the round would be over. Is that the true origin of Saved by the Bell?
So, Saved by the Bell. So, by the way, Tony, you got a no from Laura on the first one, and Amanda knows the answer to this one too. She's a Sharpie. So I wonder. The only thing, Mike, do you remember ever hearing of the idea of them setting some sort of bell on a string up when they buried people so that they could shake the bell if, when the whole coroner thing wasn't such an exact science and someone might not be dead? Did you ever hear that?
I actually have heard of it, yes.
That would be another kind of Saved by the Bell moment.
I feel like it would be. I mean, the boxer thing sounds cool, but, and I'm a social pariah in my hometown for this, I don't like the movie Rocky. So I'm going to go with the you're buried prematurely thing for the Saved by the Bell.
Okay, so what's Team Kelly and Mike's answer? Yes or no?
Team Kelly and Mike do not believe, so it's another no.
No.
I really would like Amanda to be considered part of our team, but I think we need to keep her separate.
Okay, wait, hold on. For number 2, Amanda's saying no, no, no. So she is part of your team now. And
Amanda, you got a video, and you're officially on our team.
Okay.
This is a big night for you. Huge.
So, yeah, boy, Vicky Adesso is going to be very pissed off. So,
Vicky Adesso has said yes, she does believe.
No, I'm saying she's pissed off that, Vicky, that Amanda is now on the team because you knocked her off. But what we're going to do is we're going to take a break, and then we're going to get to the next couple of these. So this is the Snark Alec Radio Show on Live 365's Loud and Loaded channel, and we'll be back in a jiff. And we are back. This is the Snark Alec Radio Show on Live 365's Loud and Loaded channel. We are playing Idioms for Idiots. And Amanda is shocked that you do not like Rocky. Gasp. And
you have no idea what it's like growing up in Philadelphia.
Hey, you don't know what it's like.
Repeatedly tell people you don't like Rocky.
And you don't know what it's like behind blue eyes, do you, Mike, either?
Get this cheesesteak out of my face. I don't want any of that cream cheese. I hate Rocky.
Hear that?
Bill is stupid. It's got a crack in it.
You could literally, it's less patriotic to burn a flag in front of City Hall in Philadelphia than to even suggest that Rocky is anything less than the greatest film of all time. I've lost friends over this.
Okay, so next one is turn a blind eye. The phrase turn a blind eye is often used to refer to a willful refusal to acknowledge a particular reality.
Mike.
So the origin of this goes back to British naval hero Horatio Nelson. During 1801's Battle of Copenhagen, Nelson's ships were pitted against a large Danish-Norwegian fleet. When his more conservative superior officer flagged him to withdraw, the one-eyed Nelson supposedly brought his telescope to his bad eye and blithely proclaimed, "I really do not see the signal." Is that the origin of turning a blind eye?
Okay, so here's a couple things. I know that Danishes don't float, so they could not be a fleet.
Danish, Norwegian.
Because Danishes can't float. So
I feel like your maritime knowledge is rock solid here.
It's a building block. It's the foundation from which we'll operate. So Amanda wants Rocky the Musical, or apparently there is a Rocky the Musical.
Yes,
maybe that will.
Yes, it's on Broadway. Has
that helped you?
I love musicals, but I still don't think I'd go and see that.
Okay.
So the team of Kelly and Mike, are they going to wait for Amanda to?
Amanda, who's kind of the brains of the outfit.
That's kind of what's going on. We're really just killing time here until Amanda tells us
weighs in. Yeah. That's it. So Amanda, we're waiting.
Yeah, Amanda, you're really letting your team down now.
Yeah. I'm leaning towards a no on this one. I'm not buying the whole him putting his spyglass up to his bad eye kind of thing.
Yeah.
So right now we're on number 3.
If I had a bad eye, I'd always know that I had a bad eye. Like, I would never forget.
Yeah.
Okay, so right now we're on number 3. If you're going to shout out anything on Twitter, put the number next to it, because right now
Amanda.
Laura is emphatically saying Kelly is right. No is the answer. To which one?
There was the Bell one.
The Bell one? Okay.
Buried Bell one.
So number 3.
For this one, she's saying it has to be yes because it's so stupid. So Laura's a yes on there.
Okay.
So you're saying blind eye means to ignore something. Myrna's asking about the idiom.
Willfully refuse to acknowledge something. That's what the definition of it is when you turn a blind eye, and I'm just giving you the origin.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys are
able to help us on this one. She doesn't know. So
okay.
What do you think, Mike?
We got to figure out one for ourselves.
I know this is hard.
Yes, Myrna, we're saying turning a blind eye means to ignore something. That's what it means. Something that's right in front of your face.
You want to go with Laura's theory that it's so stupid it has to be true? I mean, after all, she's got a BlackBerry.
Yeah.
Listen, dickweed.
I'm pretty sure that's the new model BlackBerry, the dickweed.
Okay, so you're going with yes.
We're going to go with yes, I think. Sure.
Yeah, sure.
You good with that?
Okay, and Myrna's going to go with a no. So everybody's going with the yes except for Myrna.
So I'm upstream.
Okay, so number 4, a white elephant. Let me get over here so I can scroll down. Let's skip that one. That one's stupid. Crocodile tears. Most modern English speakers use the phrase crocodile tears to describe a display of superficial or false sorrow. But the saying actually derives from medieval belief that crocodiles shed tears of sadness while they killed and consumed their prey. Reading is hard, yo. The myths date back as far as the 14th century and comes from a book called The Travels of Sir John Mandeville. Crocodile
first off,
Tears.
I want to say that Reading is Hard, Yo will be available on T-shirts on our web store starting tonight.
Yes. And it'll be a character of Tony's, his head sticking out of the shower, saying, "Reading is hard, yo."
And
A microphone in one hand.
Just to put out, Myrna, once I put you down as a no or yes, that's it. So,
yeah, you can't flip-flop on your answers. This
you can't be flip-flopping.
Serious.
It's your final answer once you give an answer. Sorry.
In fact, Myrna, we have to ask you to stop listening to the show at this time. You just have to leave. If you're going to flip on an answer, we cannot have you be a part of the show anymore.
Okay,
Please
but
leave.
Amanda says let's go with Myrna.
So, Myrna, you're right then.
You're right. We'll miss you.
I was with Myrna the whole time. Me and Amanda, and there was Kelly like, no. Me and Amanda, though, we were there
Right.
with you. Amanda, virtual fist bump.
Careful there. So, you're right.
So number 4, Crocodile Tears. Is that the true origin of the saying, or is it
I wish Psychic Crocodile would tweet out and let us know for sure. But
I mean, it's hard to say because, I mean, obviously that's not true, but people used to believe really stupid shit.
yeah.
okay? So
I'm gonna. So my leaning is to not believe that one. So Myrna believes that crocodile tears comes from pretending. LOL.
yes, well, that's
a no.
well,
That's
no,
the one that
that's what the definition is. That someone is a superficial or false sorrow. But the phrase comes from back in medieval times. People thought crocodiles cried when they killed and ate their prey. We're talking about the origin, Myrna, not what they mean.
Okay. I'm having a hard time believing anyone would ever believe that.
I feel like stupidity is boundless, though.
Okay. I'm willing to go. I'm willing to go with boundless stupidity and go with yes. If you feel mildly strongly towards that, Mike.
I mean, I feel strongly that people are stupid, but I don't necessarily feel that they believe this.
However,
I feel like Amanda really needs to weigh in.
Amanda believes it's a no.
I'm with Amanda. It's a no.
Okay.
Amanda says no?
Wow.
Oh, so it's a no.
Wow.
Okay.
So
final answer.
I meant you, Kelly. I meant you. I'm with you. And
so Amanda, who you know all of how many minutes now, sways you. Okay, that's cool.
Okay,
That's
so
cool.
Amanda and I go all the way back to like 10 minutes into the show.
Final answer, no or yes, guys?
I'm going with a no, because of Kelly.
And Amanda.
Okay.
Mostly Amanda.
We're gonna do just a few more of these. Paint the town red. Everybody knows what paint the town red is. You're gonna go out and you're gonna have yourself a really good time. Okay, that's what it means. Okay, that's what it means. If you don't understand what it means, then you're not playing the game right. I'm gonna tell you what the origin is, and you're gonna have to tell me if it's true or false. Just explaining to the game to people who seem to be not understanding what the game is about.
Are we supposed to sing these answers in a shower or something?
No, you're not. But you're supposed to say them in a Howard Hughes voice, as opposed to Orson Welles, who's drunk on Parmesan wine. The phrase "paint the town red" most likely owes its origin to one legendary night of drunkenness. Sounds like it could involve Mike. In 1834, the Marquis of Waterford, a known lush and mischief maker, led a group of friends on a night of drinking through the English town of Melton Mowbray. The bender culminated in vandalism after Waterford and his fellow revelers knocked over flower pots, pulled knockers off doors, and broke the windows.
I'm glad you said doors.
Yes. And to top it all off, they got some paint, and they painted a toll gate, the doors of several homes, and a swan statue with red paint. So, is that the origin of Paint the Town Red?
First off, we had a night like that. It was the Christmas special, and not everyone appreciated it.
Okay. But that was not the origin of.
Did you have any red paint?
I don't know how much you guys could see on your end.
He had a ram's head, though.
You did.
I had a ram's head, and we did take that break where Tony came back a lot more mellow, according to
That's
Kelly.
right. And they elected a pope, I believe, during that period of time. If I read the signs correctly. So.
It was white smoke.
The new pope! The new pope! I had no idea it was elected in Philadelphia apartments. Until entirely new to me. So I buy that one.
Yeah, no, I get, yeah.
Okay, even without the support of, okay, Myrna says yes to number 5.
Okay. What does Amanda say?
She said she thinks she read that somewhere, so yes?
Yeah.
With a question mark.
Okay, so you're going to go with the yes on that one.
I'm going with I got Kelly, I got Myrna, I got Amanda. I feel good. My support system is backing up a yes on this one.
Okay. So I got
Kelly, you complete me.
Let me see. Let me go through my listing over here and see what else we got. Let's see. So we're going to go down to that one's
So
a little bit.
Laura's a no on number 5, though, by the way.
Okay, that's all right. Their responses are on Twitter and they're locked in,
That's
so I
right,
don't
we
have
can
to
pick
write
them
those
out.
down. So we
Okay.
could always go back and review them. Okay,
Sure.
so. Okay, da-da-da. And I think maybe we'll do just maybe one or two more. So let me scroll back up. So, the third degree. The third degree is a saying commonly used for a long or arduous interrogation. But the third degree is described. One theory argues that the phrase relates to the various degrees of murder in the criminal code. But another credits it to Thomas F. Bynes, a 19th century New York City policeman who used the pun, the third degree Burns, because his last name was Burns, when described his hard-nosed questioning style. In truth, the saying is most likely derived from the Freemasons, who you had to be a third degree in order to put some bricks someplace.
So wait, which one are we responding to? That was like 3 different possible.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm going with the third degree Burns. But there's 3. I came up with 3 theories for this one.
Because that's the kind of work Tony puts in for stuff. So I'd like to point out, during this fairly lengthy question, that
Actually, this one was one of the shortest ones.
that I could have been typing in things in Google called third degree to kind of give me an edge, but that's not something I would do. That's something Tony would do, but I wouldn't. And you want to know why?
Why?
Because I'm a better person than Tony, and so I wouldn't do that. But so I'm just saying, I haven't been Googling these. It's completely idiocy on my part. So
You could have, and guess what? You want to know something? We can end it right here. We could end it right here. The answer to all of the questions was yes. So anytime you said no, you were wrong. So, and basically, the first couple ones.
Amanda, what have you done to us?
The first couple
Screwed us on this.
The first couple ones were things that there have been, like dead ringer. There has been that email that's gone around that says the dead ringer, because they tie the rope to the guy in the grave, and if you woke up in the casket, you would pull the string, and then the guy on the graveyard shift would hear the bell ringer. The guy in the casket was the dead ringer, and the graveyard shift.
Wait,
and saved
for the
by
third
the bell.
degree, which one was it then? Which one was the
Burns?
third degree?
Burns
third-
thing?
Burns?
It was all of them. They're all true. Nobody knows the origin of that.
Oh. I feel like that was a trick question, because I was working through that one in my head. Because, Kelly, do you remember the trip that we took to Tijuana?
Barely.
Okay.
It's a little big.
It was a long time ago, so we were smuggling some stuff across the border, and we get into
May or may not have been
Tijuana, right?
illegal.
Yeah, we get into Tijuana. They start stripping the car. One of the kilos of white pepper falls on down. Who knows? It disappeared, right? So Kelly and I head back to the hotel room. We start getting into it. We learn.
story goes wrong so quick.
We learn. No, this is all true. Kelly's family. We learned the hard way what third degree meant when those police picked us up naked on the highway.
No, they're not, Amanda. See, the whole thing is there's this email that went out that told people what dead ringer, Saved by the Bell, and graveyard shift all meant. Because the guy on the graveyard shift was the guy that was supposed to be there in the middle of the night, just in case somebody pulled the string that rang the bell. So that would be the dead ringer. And then when the graveyard guy dug you out, they would say you were saved by the bell. So that's why I picked all three of those, because there's been a lot of bullshit about those. But every one that you guys said no to, which was number 1, number 2, and number 3, and number 4, the Crocodile Tears, where you guys said no to all of them. Paint the Town Red, you all said yes. And Laura, Paint the Town Red means go out and have a good time. It doesn't mean spend all your money. You can spend all your money and have a good time, but...
You can. I was worried that it had something to do with blood, but I'm glad it wasn't that.
Yeah, so... and the reason that I did it that way was because if you did Google it, you would come up with the fake shit. You would come up with the Saved by the Bell, the dead ringer.
See, but you don't need to worry about that, because when I play a game, I don't cheat, Tony.
Okay.
I just so you don't need to worry about me Googling during it.
Okay.
For the record, I did not cheat during sex position or adult diapers or whatever it was. So
Yeah. Karma Sutra or adult diaper.
yeah, no need for Googling there.
Yeah.
You know what? I've decided to reject the correct answers and just say Amanda's right.
Yep. Who are we to question Amanda? Is my opinion at this point in time.
You know what?
Actually-
if you have a BlackBerry, you're right.
If Amanda's still watching, if she gives us her Twitter account, I'll put her in the Snark Alex. But I don't think
She's
she's
on
watching.
G+. I don't know if she's on Twitter, but she's on G+.
I have to see. So I think that's it. We can take a break and wrap this up, or we could wrap it up and go home.
I'll take a quick break and wrap it up.
Alrighty.
Hey, everybody. You're listening to Snark Alec Radio on Live 365's Loud and Loaded station, and we will be right back.
So you do remember Tijuana?
I do not.
I saw postcards. I got a postcard. I got it right here.
I have pictures, yeah.
I got your postcard, buddy. Anyway, hey, everybody, we're back. You're listening to Lying Mike, Lying Tony, and Beset Kelly as we wrap things up for another fine edition of Snark Alec Radio on Live 365's Loud and Loaded channel. Super cool. Pat Briggs, Mike, thank you so much for securing that guest. That was not your typical Snark Alec guest, but very cool nonetheless. So it was really cool. Thanks for making that happen.
I'm just glad he was able to make it on, and I hope he comes back again. If he wasn't too offended by those Tijuana pictures I sent him from our trip.
Okay. People are still not understanding the game. It wasn't the meaning of the thing. And Amanda's telling me I'm right about the dead ringer. No,
Yeah.
dead ringer is wrong. Dead ringer
Okay.
means an exact duplicate. It doesn't
But
mean...
she's provided her Twitter address in the Q&A, so quit your bitching and add her to Snark Alex.
Okay.
So it's Amanda, not Amanda. So she spelled it funky.
Okay.
Of course, who am I to say I'm pronouncing the name right? Because it's not my forte or fort. Yeah, super cool. I hope he does come back on. So I was a little murky on it, and I didn't, because there were a few questions that were a little redundant. I didn't want to kind of hit him with it for the third time. But so he's going to do the EP. Is the EP or EP Plus, is that the one that he's going to be releasing each individual song with a chapter, or is that a different project, Mike?
That's a different project. That is a book that he was working on.
Okay.
And he's going to release from what he was saying, he will be releasing chapters of the book, and each chapter would include a video and a song.
Cool.
So not only did I have... Amada. It's not Amanda. Amada.
There's
Damn
no
it, Kelly.
It's another show. Hey, it was up there for you to see too.
I don't read that stuff.
Sorry, Amanda. We shall call you. We shall call you Jill from now
You
on.
are mad at me. I'm mad at you. You are mad
Jill,
at me.
thanks,
I'm
Jill.
mad at you.
I gotta stay simple here, man.
What the fuck you doing?
Well, I mean, I feel like we already covered reading is hard, yo.
That's true. Reading is hard, yo. It's our theme. So this is like I'm mad at Kelly for not pronouncing my name right. Okay. All right.
Wait, hold on. What did you say?
What did I say? What?
Just now.
I just said it's a mad. Just what you're doing. You're doing the I'm a mad. That I was doing a riff on that. Hey, so who was pulling the train whistle during the show?
I think that may have been Pat's phone.
Yeah, I was wondering that too, and I didn't want to comment. I'm like, what the hell is the train whistle?
And apparently there's lots of birds and dogs around Pat too, because I heard lots of barking and birds tweeting. So, I don't know, I'm just saying.
I didn't hear any of that.
You didn't hear any of that?
I hear that, what you're doing now, but I didn't hear any animals around Pat.
I heard the dogs a little bit, but yeah, the train whistles. It was a little random, but it's just I thought it might have been something over on his end, and I didn't really want to kind of throw it out. Well, who the hell's screwing around with the sound effects? Because in case it was him.
Like someone's doing now.
Yes. Since he can't be Googling answers. So.
Oh, fuck you. Good night, everybody.